Okay, so we are down here in the Jeep and we are installing this. This is the MPC Automotive Accessories Remote Start system. My Jeep did not come with a remote start, unfortunately. So I am going to be using this MPC add-on kit basically to make my car remote start, because over here you die of the heat if in the summer if you cannot start your car a little bit earlier or have it run for a few minutes at least before you get into it. It's hot. Okay, today for instance the car measured 45 degrees Celsius, which is stupidly hot. So yeah, hopefully with this installed it will definitely help to get the car's temperature down a little bit before we actually get into the car. So that's the idea. To install this, it's a bit of a mission. I need to get into the glove box, I need to get in under the steering wheel, I need to get in behind the push button start, and I also need to get in behind the light switch, because there is a function where if you have your car running in this way, the lights will be switched on so that you know that your car is running or idling when you are not close enough to actually be able to hear it. So yeah, I am going to take apart the things that I need to have this installed, and then we will get to everything that we need to install this. Or first, let's get into the unboxing, or into the... let's see what's in the box. Okay, so let's get into this unboxing. Ooh, start your car with... They get you all excited telling you can start your car with your cell phone, which I didn't purchase, and then they say additional purchase required. So I'm guessing I can add this on later on. You get some instructions or your warranty card possibly, and then everything is here in the bag. There is a little USB thingy. I've heard that you can update this, you need to program this, not just in the car, but you also need to take it out then and program it on your computer, and we will get to those steps as we go along as well. I know in the J case you cut a wire and it works, but for this instance it doesn't work. So there is this little USB programmer, the flash link light. It's a USB with a wire connection that you can use to program your module with, your Fortin module. Basically this is what's going to be controlling the auto start and stop. Then I'm guessing this is the USB cable that I will be using when I program the brain box inside. There is a switch. Don't know what the toggle switch is for, but we'll get to that as we install it. Here is the T-harness that goes into the back of the start button of the JL, and then there is another part that connects to probably the module. So the one part goes into the start button push start. The other part goes into the back of the module, and then I am not 100% sure where all of these wires go, but we'll see as the installation process goes along. So yeah, that's the main harness, and then there is this little guy with a green and a red clip on it. These two have to be connected into a connector that's behind the glove box. So this wire is also very important. It goes to one of the PCBs that controls the brain of the Jeep, and that's why I need to get in behind the glove box. So this one goes behind the glove box, this one goes behind the push start, and then the one that goes behind the push start also has the lengthened cable so that you can connect it to the light switch, so that you can have those switched on as you go along as well. But yeah, so let us get into the installation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the glove box first. No, you know what, I'll take off the push start button, Then I'll open up the glove box and we'll go along for the ride. Let's get installing. Okay, so sorry for the bad angle. Let's try and fix that. Okay, so I'm gonna take off the centerpiece, then I'm gonna go into the glove box and see what we have to deal with. My centerpiece does come off very easily because, well, it's been off a few times. You can just take off the back switch off of the push start button, and I disconnect this, my AC, everything that's on this control panel I also disconnect, because now what needs to happen is I now need to get into this glove box. Now if I have it correctly, you can just simply drop it down like that, and then you have your glove box, and you can reach down under there and reach whatever you need to be able to reach. Sorry, I did not think this through. Okay, so I need to check my instructions where to put the two wires that need to go in there, and then I need to feed it through so that I can have access to them in here, and then feed them through again so that I can have access to them down here, because this plastic also actually does need to come off so that I can get under the steering wheel. There we go. That also comes off relatively easily because, like I said, I have scratched around in here a bit in the past. Just for the giggles, I'm going to plug in the starter. There is a specific way around that they go, so the push button goes in the one side, and then this part of the T-junction will go back into my push start button. This wire down here, however, you can feed that back through and fix the wire in the back. Have it look nice, because you will only be needing it when you plug in your module in the back, and until then it's pretty much only in the way. So this part of the installation can go pretty quickly. Yeah, that part's done. First connection has been made. Okay, there goes that one. Now I need to check what, where, how, and what goes on back there. Okay, so this is the wire that I need to put in there now. It has a little green tip and it has a little white tip. These need to be plugged into the CAN buses or the CAN connections under or behind the glove box. I read through the instructions. I think these are the CHR7 wires. The white plug goes into the green CAN. Okay, the green plug then goes into the white CAN, so you can't really mess it up. Let me show you a picture of that. That is what the cans look like. White goes in green, green goes in white, and it can go into any spot in there. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug these in and then fish this wire back behind the dash so that I can have all of the connectors on the same side. Not exactly sure why I can do this with into any connection hole here, but I mean, I'm not gonna complain. It makes my life a lot easier. Sorry for all the sweat. It's hot as heck out here. Okay, now let's fish the wires through. this is always the part that I like the least, trying to get the wires. Like, one time it can go smooth as butter, and then the next time it's just a pain in the backside. Just like now. Just trying to get this in here so that it looks as neat as possible when I pull everything through and when I put everything back together. Because I do like a clean, simple instruction. Well, installation, not instruction. My instructions are not always as clean and clear as I would like them to be. Oops. Something fell now. Weird, the longer wire actually goes back. The longer wire is the closer connection, and the shorter wire is the farther connection, which is a little bit stupid. But who said making cars or a one size fits all was an easy task? So let's get everything to the right locations. Okay, those wires are in place. That's pretty much it. I can try and get my can actually put the dash back in, because now all of that is finished. I can put my, what is that? I didn't press record. The glove box is back in place. Something dropped down. It was a little gear that keeps everything in place and nice and tidy and looking nice, or that makes it slow to come out, but it's back in place now. So that is that was a quick fix. I need to check what that is. That doesn't look very hygienic. Anyway, yeah, the middle is kind of done. I can put this back into position or back in place, and then the middle is done. I can then just connect my light switch, which is probably going to be the biggest headache of the lot, but we'll see now what actually happens, what is happening next. Okay, there's that. Let's get into the light. The desert is not my friend, so I need to take the light switch out, but as you can see, there's a bunch of sand in here as well. I'm just gonna leave it, get into the connection in the back, and get out of here again, and put this cover back on in position where it should be. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got my I need to get this out a little bit easier. There are some metal clips going around it that I just need to wiggle loose, and then it'll come out, and then I'll show you where I make my connection. So I actually thought I didn't have the correct wire taps here, but turns out I was smart enough to actually bring them. So I am using these little T-taps connectors for this connection. I need to find a brown and white wire to tap into. According to this thing, if I hold the switch like this, it's the number 1 pin as shown in the diagram. This is a tap on connection, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these little T-taps and connect that wire to it. Now, in the loose bundle that I have of wires, I now need to get out a green and red wire. The rest of them I can actually cable tie back into position. So I take my green and the red wire, make the other wires back into position. I think that should be fine. Put them back with a piece of, well, cable wire. And then I take this green wire, and this now needs to tap into brown and white wire, but the one that they are indicating in the picture doesn't look the same. So we will have to check that. I'm going with the pin number. Black pin connector at parking light switch. Black 10 pin. Huh. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna tap this one in and get it going. I wonder if I have my wire crimper here. That's gonna be the other question now. Because this will go easily, this will tap in very easily, because these taps are, they have definitely changed my life since I discovered them. They have definitely changed my life. Okay, so that's a tap. Now all I need to do is connect this wire to the back of this little push connector, and then we are golden. Let me just check if I have my pliers here. Okay, so I was hoping I could do this in one run, but apparently I did not bring everything down that I needed to actually be able to make this connection as tight as I can. So I need to run upstairs, go get my pliers, and then come back down to crimp this down. Back in a bit. For the viewers at home, that was quick. That was like seconds. For me, that was a few minutes, because I had to walk up to my apartment, go get everything that I need, and come back down again. And now I can crimp this wire into the correct place. Yay! Okay, now I just need to get this wire up here into the correct location, and then we are good to go. Oh, wire keeps on falling out. Let's see if I can get it this time. Yay! Got it! I hope that is now, that's hooked. I hope so. Yay! And then I just need to check if this wire, the T-tap actually went through the plastic. Because if it did not, I needed to clean the plastic a bit better, but it looks like it did. Yay! Connect the T-tap, and then put this back in. That is pretty much it for the hard installation part of this. Now I'm going to be doing the programming. putting everything back in the right places. Well, everything is pretty much back in place. It's just the bottom cover that needs to be done, and the programming for the brain that needs to be done. I need to read the instructions for that, but I'll put you back on that side so that we can check. I hope this is all good to go. This is all the wires except the other two, the one with a switch and the one I think that goes with the USB cable. Just gonna double check it and then I'll be back. There's people here trying to park in somebody else's parking now. I can bet you money they're gonna park in somebody else's parking, and then the police will be called and stuff like that. Yay! While we're on this train, if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. Okay, so they say here on the side of this little module there is a button. You need to hold this and then you need to plug in one of these black tips that does not have the clip on it, and it needs to slide into this little black position, or the little black hole here on the side of the connector, black receptacle. Then press and hold the programming button, connect the 4-pin data link harness. I don't know which one that is. I think that's the one that I'm connecting now. Okay, because that's the only one that has 4 pins. Black connector with no locking tab. Okay, let go of the programming button at the moment when you see the blue LED. If tuned correctly, the blue LED will turn on solid, and if the LED is not solid blue, disconnect the 4-pin connector and go back to step number 1. I really don't want to do that, so hopefully this goes first time, 1 and done. Sorry for this nonsense music that is playing here, but unfortunately people have no respect. Okay, so I pushed it in. The light is on blue, but it did not flash. So I'm guessing I did it wrong. So, it was at this point that I realized, well, not at this point, you can see here, I'm going to play the whole video in the background, of me trying to figure out what I did wrong. Couldn't figure it out, couldn't get the lights to program the way that the instructions told me I should do it. And then I realized, after going up to the house, coming down again multiple times, trying to figure it out, I found out that I thought, let's retrace our steps. So I went back, checked all of the wires that I installed, and then I checked under the dash and I'm like, what? This little wire that is clearly hanging around that I did not put in previously, which was the CAN wire that comes from the glove box that I actually never plugged in. Plug that into position, and Bob is your uncle and MPC is your auntie. There you go. The sequence lighted up, the lights flickered the way that they should have flickered, and then I went back upstairs to program the MPC module with the computer. So I programmed that, got it up and got it programmed, saved the program, and then went back down again. So basically, before you do the programming, make sure that all of the wires are actually plugged in. All of these little holes, like the picture shows over here, should be filled with wires. They should be all plugged in before you run that first startup sequence. Then the brain can actually pick up the car that you are installing it into. And after that, it worked fine and it worked perfectly. You can check the next parts of the video to see that. But yeah, so figure it out. Sometimes installations don't go as well the first time, so then I get cutscenes like this. So yeah, if you did like it, have a look and see what it looks like when I use it. Okay, so now that that's done, well, technically it's done according to the instructions. I'm going to take the little brain box upstairs to the computer, have my Bluetooth, not my Bluetooth, I get my computer to update it, program it, and then I will be back down here to install the rest of it. See you in a bit. Okay, so I don't have a lot of battery power left, but here goes. Apparently, now that everything is installed, if I press lock 1000, unlock 1000, lock 1000, it should activate the remote start. So lock, unlock, lock, does the little light thingy. Ooh, that's cool. Yay, it works. Works. Ooh, my bonnet light doesn't work. I wonder if that's because of some setting that it has. That looks cool. The remote start works.